Hello and welcome back to Sovel. I have great news. Today we finally reached 100 subscribers. That's absolutely amazing. We're 1/5 of the way to reaching 500 by New Year 2025. So yeah, if you want to be part of the journey, don't forget to leave a like and subscribe. Today we're playing as the Empires of Man. Let's begin. Okay, let's see what we have here. So we're already starting with a unit of swords. So there's no real reason for me to get any more swords. Imperial Knights, yes, let's go. So even though we picked the captain, somehow we ended up with a cavalry-based army again. And the captain is going to be the anvil, while the cavalry is going to be the hammer. We're going to go down the bottom path. Let's go from top and then we'll make our way down to the bottom. So yeah, oh well, I guess from the middle and then make our way down. Okay, let's see what the enemies have. So they have some dire wolves and then just a bunch of zombies. Okay, cool. So yeah, I've spent quite a while actually making it to difficulty level 5 on the human faction. Again, that kind of stems from the whole fact that increasing the difficulty is very difficult. And there's no reason for it to be so difficult, you know. Games like Total War Warhammer, they just kind of let you play a legendary difficulty right off the bat. So I don't really understand why for this game you have to like grind out for like an hour and a half for some of the later difficulties, and you have to do every single difficulty one by one, starting off with difficulty 0, and yeah, it just feels kind of pointless in my personal opinion to have to go through all that sort of stuff. The change I guess that I'm trying to lead up to is the fact that I want to at least be able to skip a difficulty whenever I play a difficulty. So if I played like difficulty 1, I want difficulty 2 and 3 to unlock. This is a concept that I've had before. It's kind of like leapfrogging, and I think it's quite a good solution because then it halves the grind by at least half. Preferably I would have liked for, you know, all the difficulties to be unlocked right off the bat, but I can obviously understand that it might lead problems to new players, and new players getting confused and then complaining that the game is too hard and things like that, because they immediately started off on difficulty 7. But apart from that, it wasn't too terrible. I tried getting myself to level 7 on the elf campaign, and I obviously failed, so we're back to the human campaign. Yeah, it was a bit unfortunate. The elves did quite well up until the final boss battle in Act 2 on difficulty 6. So yeah, which is why I went back to the humans and trying to grind them out. Because for the elves I got a massive army of chariots, and it's just really unfortunate, but chariots don't do well when it comes down to basically blobbing up enemies and things like that. So when you can flank enemies and you can rout them, they do quite well in difficulties where enemies come back from routing, but unfortunately, as I've said, it just doesn't last, and you know, boss fights really put that to the test, and the chariots were found to be wanting, and yeah, the chariots didn't do well on difficulty 6. So I'm gonna try to go for a more, you know, diverse army. I guess that's the correct phrasing, because the more diverse armies, so you know, like knights and the imperial light cavalry, they can at least stand their own in the middle of a battle, I guess, even if they get into prolonged fights. Because the problem with chariots is that, yeah, obviously, after the initial charge, they lose 3 of their attacks, and then they lose like 2 power, which is very big. Has massive consequences, and makes the game a lot more difficult. Well, this guy, okay, he came back nice. Then give myself some extra power. But yeah, it was just really unfortunate. And yeah, so I'm playing as the humans now because I succeeded, obviously. It's difficulty 5. Gonna make a little mini-series like I did with the vampire, not vampires, but the undead. I did the same with the undead, where I made a mini-series about them. That was something that I found quite fun doing, you know, moving from difficulty 5 to difficulty 7. Because yeah, those difficulties are usually like the hardest to grind through. So I was able to mainly avoid grinding through those difficulties by making content out of it. There goes spreading out my army. So because enemies can come back from routing, it definitely becomes a lot more difficult. It's a lot easier when you can just rout the enemies and then you can just let them be. Because when you charge them in, even if you like fail to deal any damage, they can come back and then they can turn around and attack you. Which definitely makes the game a lot more difficult. Oops, let's go. Nice. Some good shots off of the Imperial Light Cavalry, especially considering they don't have any upgrades or rerolls or anything like that. But yeah, whenever you charge an enemy and they're routing, they have a chance to come back from routing if they succeed their morale check. Then obviously they'll immediately turn around and attack you. So this definitely makes difficult 5 a lot more difficult. Which is, I can understand why such things would be locked away behind behind all the previous difficulty levels, but just the kind of annoying grinding out everything. I would have preferred if the grind was lessened by a bit. It would definitely not hurt. I feel like that's one of the major changes that I want to be made to this game. Just, the ability to have an easier time playing harder difficulties. I talked about this in the past as well. So I'm just bringing it back to the forefront because there's been a lot of updates in this game, but none of them seem to address the single player grind. Every single time there's like a balance change, it's always to the multiplayer or because something happened in the multiplayer. Kind of like the cannon nerf. I don't feel like anyone in single player was complaining about cannons, but obviously in multiplayer they were a bit of a problem. So they got nerfed there, and then obviously because multiplayer and single player have the exact same grind. Oh well, not grind, but the exact same balancing scheme. Oh, we got colours now to our upgrades. That's really cool. Plus 5 gold and looting. Unit size, I'll pick unit size, yes. Heck yes, let's go. What do we have for the level up here? And then we have, more units. Sweet, let's go. I don't know what's happening, but that's very cool. Definitely another update that happened. So that was very cool. How the upgrades were changed. That was definitely something that was severely needed to give the campaign a bit more identity. I've noticed it with first the unique upgrades for every single unit. That was very cool. And then now we have the actual colours in the upgrade screen. So yeah, that was very big. But the difficulty still is something that's lacking, and I would like that to be slightly upgraded. Okay, these zombies are slowly walking towards us, but we can continue kiting them. There's nothing wrong with kiting the enemies. Another thing that I had an idea for was like separate balancing for multiplayer and single player. But I feel like that'll be a bit difficult to do because that'll require you to kind of like make almost double the double the balance changes. To be fair, that's also an idea that I stole from Total War because that's what they do. Total War has two separate balances, one for multiplayer, one for campaign. Which is why in campaign you can have Velspeth, the new vampire-inspired magical Empire Lord character. I don't know what Velspeth specifically is like. I haven't played the DLC yet. Basically, her in-game power is very overpowered, but she got nerfed for multiplayer, and I feel like that's a really good way of doing these sorts of things, like having two separate balance patches, but obviously that has its own issues, so it's not that high up in terms of changes, especially since the changes aren't that bad. I don't feel like there's a unit that's completely unusable right now. Everything kind of has a use, so it's quite good on the balancing part. Shoot this zombie unit as well. Some people might say that zombies are completely useless, but I feel like they're not too terrible. Yeah, sure, they got weak power and weak skill, but only the AI uses zombies, so from a player perspective, zombies aren't that bad. You never pick the zombies yourself, so there's just no reason. Plus they're a bit expensive to pick, so they're kind of like fodder units that almost act like checks for armies, chariots and things like that. How they can't grind their way through a zombie unit because zombies don't have morale. So even if you do a lot of damage with a chariot, at the start the zombie unit will bog down the chariot and then over time it will just die. So zombies act kind of similar to a boss fight in that they check your army to see if the army can actually stand up against a prolonged battle. Oh, look at that, we got some red in here as well. Well, some colour level up screen. And then sweet as well. Wow, recruiter, wow, that's something new. Okay, that's wonderful. I absolutely love to see these changes because humans were by far the most lacking faction, I guess. Because they were kind of a jack of all trades, master of none. Because unlike the elves, they didn't really have that great a lord. Because the elven lord, they get the elf lord, she basically gets rerolls on failed attacks. That's very strong. The dwarves obviously have the ability for the entire unit. Meanwhile, the humans, they only have like +1 to combat score. yeah, compared to rerolls on failed saves and rerolls, failed attacks, the humans were definitely lacking. I'll take the Imperial Halberds. Yeah. And plus, here we go. So there's my Lord's trait as well. That's very nice. Discipline or unit size? I feel like unit size is better. And then, as some people have noted, you can only have one weapon set. So these two are weapon sets. I think I'll pick the just one attack. I feel like that's better for my Lord. Ranged attacks are separate, so I could have this and I could have a weapon set, but I can't have two weapon sets. Something that people noticed in my campaign, something that I even failed to notice. And I've noticed that you can have up to so you can have 3 enchanted items. So that's something I noticed. I'm pretty sure you can go for more. 4 enchantments on the weapon. Enchantments on weapons go onto stuff like this, so weapon set, and then obviously you have the separate item enchantments. It's considered separate. So I've had up to 4 weapon enchants and up to 3 item enchants, which I feel like is very decent. I'm sure you can go higher, but it takes quite a while to get there. So these 2 are weapon sets, I see. It looks like you can't get the great weapons and the lance and shield, unfortunately. I'll go with lance and shield because it's better for a cavalry unit, especially since I'm trying not to be in a prolonged battle with cavalry. Obviously increase their resistance to ranged attacks, since the biggest enemy are cannons and things like that, and that'll help greatly. I'll reroll failed discipline on the halberds. Okay, cool. I'm gonna kind of do it like this. Nice. And we got some elves over here, and they're all ranged. Yeah, the elves, they're all a bit focused on speed, so this is going to be interesting. I'm probably going to try to get them to charge my halberds, since I'm pretty sure the halberds do well. Yeah, they got their halberd skill, always on 4+ they hit, which is very strong. Yep, nice. Still Elven Reavers missed me. Could do something like this where I just charge in from the side. Avoid all combat. I think that'll be preferable. Keep this guy here. I don't want him to engage. Obviously countercharge the chariot because that prevents it from getting its additional attacks and additional power. So even though the chariot can attack me because I'm attacking from the side, it will not be getting any of its stronger benefits. So that's why I did that. Because, yeah, the chariots could definitely be very powerful if given the opportunity to charge in. Because the enemy's moved, they can't attack us now, but we can attack them. Nice, there we go. So yeah, the game changes quite a lot, and it's actively being developed, and it's going in the right direction. So I'm very happy about that. Ooh, not the best saves, and not the best attacks either. Oh my, oh my. Oh well, at least they're in there because of the rerolls. That was very lucky for me. Even if we did get a bit unfortunate, I'm not gonna lie, with the attacks. And I can hopefully get the Imperial Knights to charge into the back of the Elf Lancers. Enemy chariot came back from about, so I'm gonna have to finish that off. Looks like these guys are gonna have to wait. Oof, and we just barely won. And they're not routing, okay. Then our Imperial Light Cavalry should win. Ooh. Yeah, it's a draw, but because we have more units, we should win that. Hoping, anyway. The enemy's got really good rolls on their attacks. Ooh, nice. We're doing quite well there because of my captain. That's dealing additional attacks that have more power than the regular unit. Then because we're attacking from the back, they can't retaliate. Then they rout. Nice. Oh no, they're staying. Very unlucky. But on the plus side, it's only a unit of chariots. So it's not like the chariots are going to have all that many attacks because they didn't get to charge us. There they go. Still a bit of a close battle. And then there we go. That's that unit gone. Then this chariot should die. Yes, there we go. Just waiting for them to rout now. Every little bit of attack helps the playing field. Oh, nice. There we go. Even out the playing field by stacking the odds in our favour. And they're routing this turn. Okay, great. Nice. There we go. And that's the entire unit gone. But then let's see what the enemies have. So they have their bow riders. They have some of their infantry as well moving in. I'll let the halberds engage over here. Oof. Really good saves for the enemies. Really bad for us though. Let the enemies charge into the halberds. Been thinking about doing like a book club almost. Where we just talk about stories on the internet or something like that. Stuff like Royal Road or maybe even like Reddit subreddits. Something like that. So, you know, while we're talking we have something else to discuss. I don't know how popular such a thing would be. I think we should be able to charge into the side of those orcs. Nice. It's a bit of a close one. Oh no, never mind. Not as close as I was thinking it was going to be. And then we should be able to charge in here. Nice. So now my lord is either gonna be charged by these guys, or he's gonna move up in the side and charge them to prevent them from charging the Imperial Knights. I can charge these guys in the back. Okay, so my lord is gonna give +1 to combat. And let's see how this goes. Nice. So yeah, that was a drop because of the combat. It was just slightly over. These guys are routing. That means I can charge these guys in the side without them being able to charge me. Side charge and then side charger. Oh well, rear charge over there. Yeah, the Imperial Knights are definitely very powerful. Plus with their power, additional power after charges, they're definitely a very strong unit. I'm going to do this because if these guys rout, then I can immediately charge the side of the Orc Warriors. So and then that'll hopefully save my captain. And then these guys routing, yep, they're gone. Nice. Very cool. And then these guys should also be deleted by the Imperial Knights. Yes, nice. Very cool. These guys are back from a rout. That's not good. Gonna have to finish them off. Side charge. Charge these guys over here. Confirm. I'm gonna try to move my lord around, or captain around the back, to hopefully do a rear charge. Don't know how useful that'll be. Probably become a side charge or something like that. Let's see how many attacks go through. 2. And they're out. It's very lucky for us. How many attacks go through here? Okay, nice. But unfortunately these guys have come back from a rout, so it would appear to me that we have to continue charging. But hopefully after that unit is completely destroyed, these guys will just rout because, yeah, they just don't have an army left. That's the plan anyway, to hopefully have them automatically rout. Who knows what will really happen. Some of the stuff that I talked about in my Mordheim playthrough was that I heard that Valve is going to be changing the way that their stores work. Oh, these guys routed, that's very nice. Let's quickly upgrade this. Let's see, so we got some levelers up. I'm so excited to level up my characters now. Because rather than just this, rather than just being a bland stat screen, it actually does something now. That's very nice. Increase unit size, very nice. Okay, what else do we have? Unit reroll, missed attacks, wow, that's very strong. Imperial Elites, yeah, the Imperial Knights, closer to Dread Knights now, rather than just being second-hand Dread Knights. Very, very strong. I'll collect some money. I'm also pretty sure that the maps also got more detailed. I'm pretty sure the maps never used to be this detailed before. That's also very nice. Ooh, some failed saves on the Imperial Halberds. Bit unfortunate, but what can you do? The Imperial Halberds. And let's see. Nice, that's 2 Imperial Light Cavalry gone. Let's move up my lord as well. I can hopefully get a side charge in on those Foot Knights. Plus with the new rerolls and everything else. And +2 power, the unit is going to be absolutely devastating for the enemies. These guys, going to slowly move them up. I don't really want to engage in melee, especially not against the spears. Charging the spears is a futile effort. But yeah, I wanted to talk about Steam and the fact that Steam is changing their store pages. So from now on you'll no longer be able to have any additional links in the Steam store page. So you can't like link to other games, you can't link to even demos, because demos are getting their own separate Steam page. So I think that's both good and bad, because sometimes game developers would release like a really bad demo that'll reflect poorly on the game itself. So now it's kind of more fair in the fact that the demo doesn't reflect on the game's reviews. But now because the demo is a separate page, I guess that you could say that basically demos now no longer get traction to the main game as they would before. No exterior links would mean that, if you go to a Steam store page, you expect to only see information about the game itself. So you don't see discords and stuff like that, which is a bit of a shame for indie developers and things like that. Yeah. Make it harder to grow their own communities. But on the bright side, I guess the Steam store page is actually a store page rather than just a generalized web page. Bit of a shame though. I feel like having Discord links and things like that do help out the community a lot. Knowing where to go to ask for help, or if you don't know what's happening. Yeah, unfortunately these halberds got destroyed by the enemy Imperial handgunners. It's okay. Nice. Got rid of the enemies finally, and these guys charging in from behind. Nice, continuing to rout them. Hopefully I can charge these guys in the back, continue routing them. These guys just barely out of range. Can maybe get my lord around there, just in time. Who are they shooting? They're shooting my lord. Okay. My lord is taking some fire now, finally. Something else being targeted other than the halberds. Ooh, and these guys came back from about. These foot knights are quite scary. Got a lot of defense, which makes them really tanky for a frontline unit. Then hopefully I can route these Imperial Spears and then get my Imperial Knights to charge into the back of the foot knights again. Then, you know, we're kind of ping-ponging between the Imperial Spears and the Imperial Knights, charging them in the back. Yeah, there we go. Charge the handgunners now in the side. Then, yeah, the Imperial Spears came back from about now. And then, yeah, we're quite literally going back and forth. Hopefully these guys will eventually rout. I mean, they have to, don't they? Or they can just get like a 3 or a 2 in terms of morale saves, and then we're going to be fighting them front on without the additional charge bonus that we have, which would make this a lot more difficult. Guess this guy could charge from the front to hopefully fully rout them or fully destroy the unit. The only bad side is that he's now going to get counter-attacked because he's attacked from the front. The 5 foot knights are enough. I feel like we're just going to win off of the enemy's not having enough units. Let's see. I feel like they should lose after this. There we go. They should, yeah, routing this 10. Nice. +1 attack, newly recruited again, additional. So they can level up twice now. Ooh, that's really interesting. Wow, that's... I'm going to go for more attacks, but that is very interesting that you could stack those. I wonder how that works. Fearless ignores penalties to discipline test. Wow, it's really interesting. Wow. I mean, it's not the strongest unit to get Fearless on, but it's very powerful. So you no longer need discipline, I guess. Why not? That's... wow. Increase discipline or increase max unit size. I should have probably gone for replenishment. I'll do this and then next time I'll get replenishment or something. Here we go. Now we can level up a bit with some free XP. Unfortunately, we don't get any money from doing this. It's a bit of a shame. Can't buy anything over here. Oh, cruelty. I wonder how the heavy armor works on the captain. Because he's inside of a unit. Does it actually nerf the unit that he's in? Or does it actually do nothing? Because he's never going to be walking by himself, that's for sure. He always has to be inside of a unit. I'll get these guys the halberds some more armor because they seem to be really prone to being destroyed. Undercover or combat squad. Undercover, I feel like that's good. And then +1 attacks on the Imperial Knights. The Iron Fist Sentinels. That'll be very strong for them. Additional movement for Imperial Swords. And there we go. We got fully healed up off of just camps. And also got some levels up over here as well. Increase skill by 1, that's very powerful, especially for melee / ranged unit with the way that I use the horses. Additional unit size is always useful. Oops, yeah, I forgot to edit this light cavalry unit. So now it's kind of just the back row guy doing absolutely nothing. Okay, let's see what the enemies have. They have a bolt thrower, but I'm pretty sure we have the mist. Yes, there we go, that's what I mean. It's extremely good to have this. Nerfs the bolt thrower's attacks by a bit. Yeah, nerfs bolt thrower because if it gets like D2 hits on you, one of those hits gets removed. It's very strong, and then for everyone else, it just kind of nerfs the hits that they nerfs the amount that they need to hit you. But there we go. Nice, there we go. 5+2s. I don't mind losing one. It's a shame, but it's not the worst thing that can happen. Move these guys up close, then fire on the chariot. I think this must actually kill the chariot. Oh no, just barely. 1 hit point. Very close though. And unfortunately we're gonna charge the chariot and the chariot's gonna charge us. So my greatest fear is chariot's actually getting to charge. So yeah, there's also the Disney lawsuit where somebody got they got an allergic reaction to some food that Disney served them in one of their restaurants. And then yeah, I find the story crazy because Disney's saying that you can't sue them because you had a Disney Plus subscription. I just find that to be absolutely crazy. Apparently, if you murder someone nowadays and they sign a waiver, it's not murder anymore. Which I find to be ridiculous. The fact that they even made it to court, and that's the defense that Disney has, is a bit crazy. I don't think that's how the world should work, hypothetically. Disney should 100% be liable for killing someone who has an allergy to a food that they served, even though they said that it doesn't contain any said allergic items or whatever. I can immediately charge the ballista, a bolt thrower. Ballistas and bolt throwers, they're very similar, aren't they? Pretty sure the difference is the size, or is just the naming sense. Pretty sure ballista and bolt throwers is the exact same thing. I don't have any of the benefits from... yeah, I don't think charging does me any good. Yeah, whatever. In the long run, the Elf Spears are going to do quite well because, yeah, even though they're charging this turn, next turn they're going to be able to attack with all 3 rows, and that's not something we'll be able to do ourselves. It's something to keep an eye out on. Probably try to countercharge these spears, and they don't get to charge off. And let's see how this goes. Oof, it's a draw. See how this goes. We should win this. Yes, come on. Nice, there we go. Completely routed. Try to avoid the fight with the Elf Noble just because the, weapon masters are very strong. They have rerolls on failed attacks. So for the entire unit of like 17 plus the Lord having, Elven Mastery, yeah, so he rerolls failed attacks as well. Yeah, just all high elf units, really strong. Something to keep an eye on, I guess. Then we're gonna kite this guy, but I never want to get to melee with him. So I'm just gonna slowly move my Lord out of the way, even though he's in like a bunch of bushes. I got give everyone +1. So yeah, let's see what happens. And these guys should win. Yes, there we go. Nice. They drew last time, so I was expecting for them to win with the special ability that I used. Let's see what I can do now. Can charge these guys in the back, can't I? Yep. I could charge these guys in the side. It's really interesting. And then there we go. I can move slightly closer to get 3 pluses on my hits, which does actually make a difference. Quite big as well. Gets a few additional hits through. Hopefully I can charge the weapon masters in the back next turn with the ranged cavalry or light cavalry, so then they don't charge by Imperial Knights in the side. Ooh, it's a draw. And this unit should be gone. There we go. So I mean, Imperial Knights very strong. And, let's even things out. Rear charge, then rear charge. That should get them to rout because I don't think this unit by themselves is going to be enough for the balance of power. So yeah, this thing over here, the balance of power. Just gonna call it by its Total War name. That's how Total War does this. Like a little balance of power in the top. And after enough units die, everyone just kind of routs. Oh, really? Oh, no. I'm not gonna lie, this Imperial Light Cavalry is not gonna live for very long. The Weapon Masters are no joke. So yeah, it's a bit of a shame. I was expecting to actually rout the enemies. I mean, we should rout them this turn, shouldn't we? I mean, come on. How good is their morale? Can't be that great. They're almost, yeah, they're wavering, they have to rout this turn. Come on, oh, that's very painful. We did win, but that last bit was extremely painful. Right then, let's quickly do the upgrades over here, and then let's see, +1 attack, nice. I'm debating between income and attack because it just depends. Do you want to upgrade your Lord? I feel like that's why the mage is good, because the only thing that you focus with the mage is just attack, increase in income. So you just increase this little number over here, because the mage is the greatest power comes from buying spells in the shop. So the more income you have, the more spells you have, and the more income you have, the more units you can buy and things like that. And to combat score, that's very strong as well. Imperial veterans. Wow. Yeah, I'm going to get all of this and then going to get some more income. Nice. Don't forget to leave a like and subscribe, and I'll see you next time. Bye bye.